Hello, everyone. Welcome back to July's podcast of On the Pulse. This is our newsletter. And today I'm going to run through a couple of questions. Is HR admin stealing your time right now? If you're a manager, if you're a business owner, is it stealing time from you? Is burnout something for you as well? Burnout you don't even know about. Burnout within your staff, within your people, is that impacting on your teams? And how do you help your teams through a cost of living squeeze? How do you help, without breaking the bank, without bankrupting the business, to help your staff and give something back to the people within your business? As I said, this is July's On the Pulse. This is filled with real stories, real fixes, no fluff. So this is our podcast. If you're listening to this wherever you get your podcasts or on the tube of you, then there's a description below. There's a link. And you click on there and you get access to our newsletter, other lovely little tidbits that come along for free, and early access to other areas too, which is really, really great. So please go ahead and do that. If you are already here and you're on the page, then you can just scroll down below and download the newsletter and get started. But just really quickly, I want to run through some of the snippets that we've got in this month's issue, and then you can go away and digest that, which will be really, really great. So the first one I want to run through is, getting your time back, getting some of your sanity back. And we went through this last month as well, and there's an extension to this about how HR software can actually help you reduce time in your business and make sure that you're not in the weeds, that you take yourself and extract yourself out from the weeds and put yourself into a place where actually this is working for you, not you for it. And we come across these stories all the time. I've had one recently last month as well, in terms of downloading reports and getting data from the system that you're working, and actually link that into your accountants as well, which is really great, and streamline that whole process, which is fantastic. But the reason we do these, the reason you have these systems are in place, is because managing people already feels like it's a job in its own right. You don't really want to be drowning in the paperwork with that too, right? It just makes it worse. So with your HR software, and there are so many to go to, we partner with Breathe, partially because A, that's what we know, and B, because it links in so well with our productivity boost. And I'll come on to that really quickly in a minute. But we are talking about how clients are saving, hours weekly by ditching the old spreadsheet process and email chaos and everything else, and putting documents everywhere and losing them. We're moving away from that. Holiday conflicts are being resolved. So we had a client who had, I think it was 3 people that had booked holiday off at the same time, and they didn't even know it, god damn it, until they actually went on holiday, which is an awful kind of place to be exposed, to realize all of a sudden people are off and it's clashed and there's not a lot you can do about it at that point in time. And also, avoiding critical absences that are overlapping, like I just said, and making sure you've got all these conflicts resolved. It's all in a system that helps you to track that, where you can download reports, you can see what's going on, you can see how much leave people have got left, you can see how the usage is working throughout the year, and that's all fantastic stuff. And I want to come on to employee support in a minute as well, but there's a good link in here towards that, which is how you can use, which is what we do with the productivity booster, by the way, the metrics around your one-to-ones, recording that, your appraisal forms, the training and other bits and pieces you can throw in there, and you can track all of that within the system and see what is happening and take away from that and run reports potentially on that as well, to see, are they happening, what's being discussed, the background to them, and you can track all those different bits and pieces, and so can your employee. But equally, when it comes to the one-to-one, I always talk about how we want to be measuring outputs. What are staff actually achieving? What is it they're actually contributing? Where are they actually struggling? But you should still be looking to see how you can help and support, whether that's in the role in getting the stuff done, or whether it's more in terms of the person themselves, how you can help the individual and how you can support them if they've got things that are going on in their life right now that's impacting on them being able to facilitate doing the role. At the end of the day, it's in your interest that the person's in the best place to be able to help to provide the role and the outcomes in the best possible way. So definitely don't forget that. I mean, if there's a problem in one of those aspects, it's going to impact on you and your business as well. So just remember those different bits. In this month's issue, we also go through burnout, the silent creep, or what I call the silent levers. These are the people that vote with their feet. You don't know that there's things that are wrong. They just go. They just take other jobs elsewhere. They've just crashed out. And in a recent report, it's 25%, so a quarter of all UK workers right now are burning out quietly. They're falling into that category. And for me, I'm going to add a little bit to this. The scariest thing for me is the people that are actually going through that burnout are also your higher performers. Why? Because the people that you spend a lot of your time on trying to nurture and support, that are your poor performers, the ones that are your problems pretty much within your business, the work they can't do is being given to the people that you're high flyers. And for the purpose of being a really great, outstanding member of the team and a great employee, you end up inheriting more work because as an employer, I know you're probably going to get it done. I can rely on you, right? And that is equally causing burnout. So I would actually say it'd be great to know the stats, and by the way, and I don't have it, so I'm not going to pretend, but I would dare say there is a large portion of people within that 25% that would fall into that category as well. Of course, not all. But I think along with that, and linked into the one-to-one that I was talking about earlier on, it's about having that well-being check-in with your members of staff. So even if it's just a one-off question like, how's your workload? How's your week going? We want to measure if it's too much, too little at the moment in time, because I want to measure outcomes. I want to measure outputs, but it doesn't mean that I've got this all nailed down and right. I might be asking far too much for anyone in that role. No matter how good you are, no matter how much of a superstar you are, my expected outcomes could be just too extravagant. And that can happen. It does happen in actual fact. So we want to make sure that we're not just bursting people at the seams, because that doesn't help anybody at the end of the day. So we want to make sure that we're on top of that and making sure that we're there to support and that we're monitoring that. Again, I come back to the HR information system. You can put that in there to show the support that you're trying to give to your employees, which you should be doing in any case. For the next part, I want to look at clever, low-cost ways to support your team. I'm going to add a couple in here that aren't actually in the newsletter, so you'll be proud of that. So I hope you're listening. So one of the things that you can do that are, we have spoken about to help people through like pressures in life, work-life pressures, cost of living pressures that don't break the bank, that aren't making your business bankrupt to do so, are things like shifting hours around, trying to help to reduce travel costs. That equally helps you to potentially look at reducing absence levels and absenteeism, which you definitely want to do. You can swap things like snacks and stuff that you might have in the office for grocery vouchers, which are really appreciated at the moment in time. And obviously I wouldn't put that down anyway. They're really good. One that I'm going to add in as well is linked again to performance, but equally you can look to give more holidays. So as a bonus, you can give holiday allowance additional for that particular year for people for rewards. You can give times off to do different bits and pieces as well. Not call it a holiday, but it can be other time off that you give for individuals as a reward. Maybe it could be a monthly thing you can do for individuals and link things back to that. These things tend to be cost neutral. Another one that tends to be quite good is things like vouchers. So we spoke briefly about grocery vouchers, which are really appreciated, and of course they are. But you can also do things such as Costa vouchers. So Costa vouchers are pretty good too. You can, interestingly enough, go online as a business and buy them in bulk, which is really good too. So you can drop them in. And all these things are really appreciated by people. So they may feel like small things. They may feel, oh, because they're not really expensive, then are they really that good? Well, they are, and they really are well appreciated. The biggest one that I pick up on all the time as my tip, which is why I dropped it, is the annual leave. So giving a reward of an additional day, 1 day's annual leave. It's cost neutral for you. It's not going to make a lot of difference to your business, but my God, it makes a lot of difference for staff, and that's really well received. So don't underrate that whatsoever. So I'm going to wrap this up now, and I really want you to take that away. I want you to digest the newsletter. Please come back. Let me know in the comments below if there's any things you think I should have added, any things that you think I have added that you would actually change and adapt, or that you're actually working with in your business that are doing really good. And I'd love to know ideas of what you are putting into business at the moment in your business that's working really well. Equally, if you have an employee, an EPA, so an employee EAP, not EPA, EAP, an employee assistance program, which is there to help and support staff at the times of need for things such as bereavement, financial issues, stress related kind of areas of things completely confidential, 24 hours a day. Do you have those things in place as well? Because they're really beneficial too. Drop the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video.